Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be multiplying polynomials. A couple of rules to remember. When multiplying like variables, we're going to add the exponents, and don't forget to combine like terms. And we're going to go through these. I'll make sure I point these out as we go through the problems. So first, let's review. We've been doing problems such as the quantity of 6x minus 4 times the quantity of 3x plus 2. And so let's just multiply them. I'm going to use the double distributive, so I'm going to do 6x times 3x, which gives us 18x squared. And I'm just going to say we're going to get that square because we're multiplying like variables, and these both have an exponent of 1. So when we multiply those like variables, 1 plus 1 is 2. And so that's what I meant by rule number 1. And then 6x times positive 2 gives us a positive 12x. So our 6 is done. Then we're going to do negative 4 times 3. That gives us a negative 12x. And negative 4 times positive 2, that's going to give us a negative 8. So I'm just going to write down minus 8. Now I'm going to combine like terms. That's our second one. Don't forget to combine. These are like terms. They have the same variable with the same exponent. We see that 12 minus 12 is going to cross out. So we're going to write down 18x squared minus 8, and we're going to stop. These are not like terms. We can't go any further. Next is the quantity 8x plus 3 squared. Be careful because here, do not distribute the 2. You cannot do that. Anything that is squared, any term that's squared, is always being multiplied by itself. So I do need to see this work written out. I need to see this thinking that you understand that is times itself. So please write this step down. Again, let's multiply 8x times 8x is 64x squared. 8x times 3 is positive 24x. 8 is done. 3 times 8 is positive 24x, 3x. And 3 times 3 is positive 9. Let's combine like terms. These two are alike, so I'm going to combine them to get 48x, and that's positive. And I'll bring everything else down, and we are finished because there are no other like terms to combine. Okay, let's look at our examples for multiplying polynomials. So here's a monomial times a polynomial. We're just going to distribute. For this one, I am making sure that I'm going to add my exponents when we multiply those like variables. So here we have 6x squared times 5x squared. So we're going to do 6 times 5, which is 30. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th, because 2 plus 2 is 4. And again, that's what I mean by adding your exponents. 6x squared times positive 7x is going to give us a positive 42. And because this x is to the first, 2 plus 1 is x to the third. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then lastly, 6x squared times negative 4 is negative 24x squared. I'm going to see if we have any like terms. I don't have any like terms. They all have different exponents, so I can't add any of those. And we do have decreasing order, so this is in standard form. So we're good to go. Okay. So here we have the quantity 6x minus 7 times the quantity 3x squared plus x plus 2. I am going to attempt this just like I did our examples up here, where I'm going to use the double distributive property. So first, I'm just going to look at the 6x. That's it. I'm going to pretend the 7's not even there. So just like the problem that we did up here, I'm going to do it down here. We will come back to that 7, that minus 7, just not yet. So let's just take care of 6x times 3x squared. It's going to give us 18x to the third. Remembering we add the exponents, 2 plus 1 is 3. 6x times positive x is going to give us a positive 6x squared. X times x is x squared. And 6x times 2 is going to give us a positive 12x. Don't forget to bring that x down. Now that I took care of the 6, I like to cross it out. And now we're going to look at that minus 7. So negative 7 times 3x squared is going to give us a negative 21x squared. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Okay. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to look for my highest exponent. My highest exponent is 3. And I'm looking to see, are there any other x cubes here? Any other x to the third powers? There's not. So I'm just going to bring it down because there's nothing to combine it with. Okay, let's look. Next highest is 6x squared, so x squared. Are there any other x squares? Yes. So 6x squared minus 21x squared. And if you don't want to think about what 6 minus 21 is, you can just do 6 minus 21. Just like you see it here, 6 minus 21, and you're going to get minus 15. So you can do it in the calculator, absolutely fine. I want you to concentrate on the process of multiplying and not worry too much about your adding and subtracting. Bring out that calculator. You're absolutely fine. So that's going to be minus 15x squared. Our next highest I see is 12x minus 7x. 12x minus 7x is going to give us positive 5x, so plus 5x. That's out. And our last term is going to be minus 14, minus 14. So we do have decreasing exponents. We have nothing else in common, no other like terms. So it's just 18x cubed minus 15x squared plus 5x minus 14. Okay, let's go on to our last two for today. Number 3, we have the quantity 3x minus 2 times the quantity 8 minus x times the quantity x minus 3. So here, the reason why I did this one is because we saw it on when we were doing our complex numbers, and I was seeing that there were mistakes being made. So this would be a great time to review it, especially with polynomials. And so that's what I'm doing today. So if you didn't get this when we were doing our complex numbers unit, please definitely pay attention and write it down so that we make any corrections and misunderstandings are eliminated. Okay, so let's do this. First, I am not going to worry about this x minus 3. I'm just going to approach this as 3x minus 2 times x minus 8. That's it. We will come back here just like we have been, but I'm just going to concentrate on these first two. You can only do 2 at a time. Don't try to do all 3. All right, so looking at just these two, 3 times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 8 is negative 24x. I'm done with that. Negative 2 times x, and negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. So I have 3x squared minus 24x minus 2x plus 16. Now, don't bring that in yet because we can combine like terms. So we're going to do 3x squared minus 26x plus 16. Okay, I'm good with this. And then I'm going to multiply it. Now I'm going to bring this one down, x minus 3. And so now I have what we had with number 2. That looks like this, where we had 6x minus 7 times our trinomial here, our polynomial. So this is just reversed. So I'm actually going to multiply it out like this, where I distribute each one of these. So I'm going to do a little bit backwards because people might like doing the problem better when it is reversed like this. So before I would have had this in the beginning, you can put it there. That's absolutely fine. So what do I mean by that? You could rewrite it and multiply it. You could rewrite it like this if you want. You could, and then you could multiply just like we did before. However, I'm going to do it like this. So let's just see how that works out. You're going to get to the same answer, which is the correct answer. But let's do it like this. We've done one like that, so let's do it like this. All right, so I'm going to get 3x squared times x, which is 3x to the third. Remember, that's to the first power, so 2 plus 1 is 3. 3x squared times negative 3 is negative 9x squared. That's out. And this might even feel faster to people just because you're now multiplying to just 2. All right, negative 26x times x is negative 26x squared. And negative 26 times negative 3 is going to give us a positive 78x. And you can even check this on the calculator if you wanted. 26 times 3 is 78, as you see there. Okay. And so that deals 28, negative 26 is done, and we just have the 16 left. So 16 times x is positive 16x. 16 times negative 3 is minus 48. And so now let's combine like terms. Are there any other cubes here? I see no other x to the third power, so we're just going to write that down. Negative 9x squared. Oh, look at that. So now that we did it that other way, look what's right next to each other. Our square terms are right next to each other. So this is actually a little bit easier than doing it if the x minus 3 was in front. That's pretty good. I like this because we don't have to search around for it like we were doing with circling it because they're right here. So I can simply do negative 9 minus 26 and I can get minus 35x squared. And we just took, it's done in one shot. And if you notice, same thing with our x terms. Our x terms are right next to each other, 78x and 16. And we can just add those together and we get 94x, and those are done. Oh, I like this a little bit better, everybody. And then let's bring down our minus 48. There's no other like terms. It is in decreasing order, so we do have standard form. I'm going to write that down, standard form. Exponents are decreasing. That's a good note to make. But yeah, this seems, I like this. I do. I like that they're next to each other. It makes it easier for me to combine like terms. You could do it either way you want. You're going to get to the same answer as us. But I did want to show you a different way of doing it. And that brings us to our final one for today. And this looks a little bit longer. It's going to be the quantity 4x squared plus 6x minus 3 times the quantity 5x squared plus 2x minus 4. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can keep distributing, distribute, and you can write it out. See how you're writing it out all the way? So you could write it out and have one big long line where you're combining like terms. You can do that. Right now, I'm going to show you a different way. This way, we were doing our work from left to right. That's this way, right here. Work from left to right. For this one, I'm going to show you a strategy that you do your work from top to bottom. You may pick either one that you want to use. So just dependent on how your brain thinks, this might actually open up understanding to you. So bear with me. If you don't like it, you could do it just the way that we were doing here. Okay. So this is what you do. First, we're going to do the typical left to right, where we just multiply. We're not going to worry about those two. We're just going to focus on 4x squared, and we're going to distribute it. All right, so 4x squared times 5x, that's 20x to the fourth. 4x squared times 2x is positive 8x to the third. Be careful because that's the first. And 4x squared times negative 4 is negative 16x squared. Okay, 4 is done. All right, now we're going to multiply. We're just going to concentrate on the 6x and just distribute that 6x. But here's the thing. We're going to start underneath. We're going to move in one space, 6x times 5x squared. That's going to give us 30x cubed. And when you move in that one space, look at how the cubes line up. Okay, this should remind you of multiplying like way back when you were probably in like 5th or 6th grade. We had like long multiplication. This is what it's going to remind you of. Let's keep going. 6x times 2 is positive 12x squared. X times x is x squared. Notice how they're lining up. 6x times negative 4 is negative 24x. That takes care of the 6x. Okay, so we have our minus 3 or negative 3 left to distribute. So again, we're going to just move in one more, and we're going to do negative 3 times 5x squared is negative 15x squared. Negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And so notice how our x's are lining up, our squares are lining up, our cubes are lining up, and then we don't have any other like terms here, so there was nothing to line up. Then you're going to draw a line, and it's addition. So let's go through and add all of our terms. I am going to go from left to right, just like we do, left to right. So we don't have any like terms with 20x to the fourth. Okay. 8x cubed plus 30x cubed gives us 38x cubed. Now, all of these, we could simply add in the calculator. You don't have to worry about circling like terms or anything like that. So you could put negative 16 plus 12 minus 15. And I'm hoping the calculator isn't really doing a good job today with seeing it, but I put it in just like that, and I got minus 19. Don't forget x squared. Okay, negative 24 plus a negative 6, or you could do negative 24 minus 6, is going to give us negative 30x, and then nothing to combine with our plus 12. Descending order, so standard form, no other like terms. This is our answer right here. And it's just a different way of doing it. Instead of going from left to right, we were able to go from top to bottom, and all of our like terms ended up underneath each other, which was easy to be able to combine them and get them in standard form. So this has been multiplying polynomials. Either one you like, you may choose to do. I wanted just to show you both ways, so it will help your understanding. Thank you. Hope it helped.